Mercedes-AMG Interview Lounge.
Well, okay, we have lots to talk about, Anthony, including your penis. Here we go. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right.
One of my boys called it the portobello. He said you gave him the portobello. My trainer, actually.
Oh my gosh! If you're just joining us, we're talking about Anthony's portobello. We'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
Anthony Ramos is here. Yay!
Yay!
What's up?
This is a big day. Every day's a big day for Anthony Ramos. Anyway, his new single, Say Less, is released today, and we're going to play that for you in just a few minutes. We've got to talk about In the Heights. We've got to talk about you in treatment with Uzo Aduba, who we love. We've got to talk about your Calvin Klein ads, which are fabulous, by the way.
You saved the best for last.
All right. You know what's kind of funny is, Anthony, you've done so much work where every once in a while I'll be just passively flipping around channels, and here comes Godzilla, king of the monsters, whatever, and there you are in a military outfit. I didn't know you were in Godzilla.
Just trying to keep the lights on, Elvis. You know what I'm saying? Here right now. Do what I can.
And then you're delivering Crown Royale booze to speak. I mean, you're always in commercial. You're the hardest working man in and out of show business.
Yeah, it's wild. It's fun. It's fun because you do all these things though, but they don't come out till like way later, and you're like, are they ever gonna come out? And then when they do, you're like, oh snap, that they meant it when they said that was coming out.
Is there any big movie or anything you did a part in that never made it? You never saw you in it? They cut you out?
I did a movie called Summertime that never saw the light of day.
Wow, so the movie never saw the light of day.
Summertime never saw the sun.
But here's a question. If In the Heights is as huge as we think it's going to be, do you think they might go, oh, maybe we should look at Summertime and put that out?
Right. Let me tell you, Danielle. Let me tell you. The way they might be like, yo, guys, we, finally, man, we got a premiere. I'm like, oh, word. That's what's up. Can't wait to see it.
Talking about In the Heights, when we knew you guys were doing In the Heights, I was online with my friends as fast as possible saying, not only do we need to get Anthony on to talk about In the Heights when the movie comes out, because at that time we thought it would be in a theater because everyone's living a life without a pandemic back then, right? And we were actually going to get a theater. We wanted to get theaters in different cities and have private screenings of your movie because of you and In the Heights. And then the pandemic hit, and it was just kind of soul-crushing. I mean, when you guys learned that your baby, In the Heights, this beautifully done production, was going to, have a little trouble seeping out, how did that make you feel? I mean, did you have some disappointing days thinking about that?
I mean, I was on the phone with our director, John Chu, and he called me. He's like, yo, look, I want you to know before the press release comes out. And we were bummed because that movie is made for the theaters. That's a movie you want to watch on the big screen and you want to hear the music blasting. And, I was looking forward to going to a theater, sitting in the back and watching people hopefully stand up at the moments where I stood up, or like the people I've watched it with stood up. I'm talking like numbers where people couldn't sit down and stay in their seat. And I was like, so I was bummed. I was bummed that we got pushed, but I knew the movie was coming out eventually, and now they, they're doing this thing. AT&T is doing this thing with, with the HBO Max and the theater, half theater and half HBO Max. And at first I was like, dang, like, are people going to even go to the theater? But like, I have faith people will.
I do too.
I really do.
Yeah.
People will go and they'll be safe. And I encourage people to see it in the theater and then watch it on HBO Max. I repeat, do not make your first experience watching In the Heights on your television.
Well, the good news is we're looking at, I think June 18th is the release date on this, right?
17th.
And they're saying 17th? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Is it 18th or 17th?
Well, one of those days.
Yeah.
So it'll be theater and HBO Max. And I am still going to find a way, as unpopular as I may become in doing so, I'm going to find a way to find a theater where we can watch it. where we can invite our friends. We can
I
invite
might
listeners.
pull up. Let me know.
I know.
Yeah, I still think we should do something, even if it's not that big, but something with a bunch of people and just
We'll figure it out.
celebrate it.
Maybe we can
deserve it.
convince someone to let us get like a projection screen and do it outside somewhere.
That's fire too.
Yeah, that'd
There's
be
some
good.
drive-in theaters too, man. There's one in Queens, I think. There are few of them out here. You know, I'm just like encouraging people like to see it on the big screen. It's nothing like, I mean, it's crazy.
Well, no offense. You guys are choosing some great venues. I was going to do Radio City Music Hall with a big screen.
Oh.
But if, fine,
that'd
if
be
you wanna,
awesome.
If
That
you
would
want
be
to do
dope.
it, if you want to do a drive-in out in Wayne, New Jersey, okay.
Elvis, lead us to the promised land, my brother.
I
Come on.
can. I'm gonna see if Radio City is booked. I'm sure they're doing like Riverdance or something. We'll cancel them for the night. Anyway, Anthony Ramos is here. Say Less, his new single. We're gonna play that for you in just a moment. The album, which we don't even know when you're releasing the album yet, do we?
Yeah, me neither. I'm
Okay.
working right now.
The difference between this album and your last album, just in your words.
I think the last album was like autobiographical, and I like kind of walked everybody through the story of like my life from like when I was a kid, and then where I'm at right now, but where I've landed, you know, at that point when it came out, and I even, you know, I finished that album early 2019, and I've written so many songs since then, and I'm just in a different place. And I kind of like, I wanted to embrace like that more like grown vibe. Like I was like, yo, I love like long nights and chilling and, you know what I'm saying, sexy nights, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yo, I want to write about that. And then I started like kind of tapping in. And then I was like, I want to just make a whole album with this vibe. Just this kind of darker, kind of like scandalous, like in the night kind of vibe.
Okay.
And,
it's your album. You can do what you want.
yeah, you know, and Say Less, you know, that was like the motivation for, well, Say Less just felt like the most complete record right now. We listened to like 70 songs back, and we were like, yo, this one feels like the first one. It feels like the best transition from where I was to where I am right now. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't feel like the craziest departure, but it definitely feels like, oh, we've tapped into something here. This is a new room. We in Narnia, you know. So that's what I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this record because I just feel like this is the best music I like could have written. Like,
Excellent.
That's
the best
awesome.
songs I've ever made.
Well, see,
Wow.
when we play Say Less, you're going to love it. I know you will. But, you know, when you hear Say Less in context with the rest of the album, it's going to sound totally different, I'm sure. This sounds like a very thematic thing you're doing. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
I've just been told that In the Heights is now moved to June 11th. Is this true?
Oh, June 11th. That's
Oh,
right.
wow.
Nice.
That's right.
We're getting it sooner.
I know. But give me 5 more minutes. I'll move it up to June 4th.
Excellent.
Hey, Danielle, what do you want to talk to Anthony about?
So I want to know, since, you know, you've got Hamilton under your belt, you've got In the Heights under your belt, and Broadway will be opening up, you know, very soon. Have you been approached to do anything on Broadway, like, coming up?
Nah, I haven't. I've been really just focusing on music a lot, the most really, and just movies. I mean, I did a TV show, which I'm so grateful for. I told my agents, I was like, yo, I haven't been on a TV show since She's Gotta Have It, but I really want to do something special, something that feels like, I just want to keep changing, switching it up.
Yeah.
You know, and even if I go back to Broadway, I want to do a play. Because I did music, I've done the musicals, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I want to do a play. I want to get on stage and talk for an hour and a half and leave and go home. Like I want to, you know what I'm saying? Just like keep stretching. And so I think, you know, if and when the right thing comes up, hopefully Broadway opens back up soon. And when it does, you know, if and when the right thing comes up, especially a play, I'll go do that. But for now, you know, I think I'm really focusing number one on my music. And the rest of my life kind of works around that, and thank God I'm able to do I was shooting a TV show and working on this album in LA at the same time. But thankfully, this show in treatment, like I only shot 2 days every like 12 days, so I was in the studio the rest of the time. And we were shooting whole episodes in 2 days. I'm talking like 20 pages of dialogue. So I was like in the studio with my script,
Wow.
memorizing the lines. And I'm like, nah, change the verse, right? Let's change the verse right there. That bridge ain't working. Going over my lines. And I'm like, no, let's say this. Let's do that. Hold on, let me cut this vocal real quick. Give me 5 minutes.
Wow.
Let me go see if I
That's
can
amazing
memorize
how
the
people
dialogue.
can do that. Some people can do that. I can't even breathe, and I can't even get my heart to beat and breathe at the same time. It's either one or the other, you know?
Same.
By the way, the TV show you're talking about is In Treatment, right? The HBO series?
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah, so it was a show. It was a show on HBO. I think they did 3 seasons, like 10 years ago or so, like 11 years ago maybe. And honestly, I asked them. I was like, "Yo, how did y'all bring this back?" They were like, "Yo, look, man, it was quarantine. It's COVID. We was just trying to see." HBO literally was like, "What TV shows could we do in COVID-19 times?" And I guess someone raised their hand and was like, "Yo, what about y'all had that show In Treatment? What's up with that?" They were like, "Let's bring that back."
All right.
And Uzo, but they I mean, like the cast is a diverse cast, you know, which I'm grateful for, because the first one wasn't so diverse. And and Uzo is the therapist, and she's just like, yo, she's like, I said to her, you know, my character is this dude. He's got insomnia. He's a homemade to a guy who's the same age as him, who's immunocompromised. So I have to do. So basically, what the show is therapy sessions for anyone who's not seen it. Every episode is just the patient and the therapist, and they're just going back and forth for 30 minutes, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. And my character is Eladio, and this dude is like, he's going through it. He was, diagnosed bipolar, but he's like, he starts to cultivate this like interesting relationship with Uzo's character, with Brooke, and they kind of start to blur a line a little bit, and it gets
with the therapist. Oh, shame. That's just not good.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
But I guess it makes for a good story, though, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, and these sessions get intense, and I start to talk about my past, and this guy's got a lot going on. He feels like he's never felt like he was deserving of love. Like, he doesn't even really know what his mom's kind of abandoned him. So like, he's got all these things going on, and finally he's working with this family who's kind of not treating him well, but he's like, this is all I got right now. This is something I found that I'm good at. Like, I can't, like, I don't need you messing with my mind about this job that I have. This is the only thing I have. So don't get me even thinking about it. It's interesting how sometimes we don't want to think about changing the thing that we're so used to having, even if it's not good for us anymore, And I think that's what this guy is facing in this show. And it's I love his journey. It's like one of my favorite roles I've ever gotten to do. And to have something like this come out within the Heights with this album, all 3 being so different, and then plus the Portobello Calvin Klein ad.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
I just felt like I'm just grateful that all of these things can show different sides of me. Where people can be like, oh, he can do that, and he can do that, and he can do that. And I also prove to myself that I can do it, because sometimes your worst enemy is yourself. You got to prove that to yourself. So that's kind of what this year has been for me, to be honest.
Wow. A lot of people use the pandemic as their reason why they didn't work, why they didn't collaborate, why they stayed inside, why... but if you could find a way to do it safely, and obviously you did, you got through that field, it's good for you. By the way, we're about to play Say Less, the new single from Anthony Ramos, his album coming out sometime. He doesn't know when, but he worked on that show with Uzo Aduba while being in that headspace while doing an album at the same time. I don't know how you do it. I really don't. All right. Great. Let's get to our favorite topic of the day.
Yes, please.
Your wiener. Go, Gandhi.
Okay, so obviously you did some Calvin Klein.
I'm going to let Gandhi wrestle this one. Go ahead.
So you did these Calvin Klein ads, and you look amazing, obviously, but I have some beef. I think they played you just a little bit. In the actual commercial, everyone's talking, all these hot people in underwear, and it comes to you, and it says, what are you most vulnerable about? And then it zeroes in on your wiener. How do you feel about that?
Yo, I'm not going to lie. That's exactly what I thought when I saw the cut.
Yeah.
Right after the question, boom.
Right to it.
I was like, all right.
Why not?
I guess that is a vulnerable place. But
It can be.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, you know, it was fun, man. It was crazy. It was so unexpected too. I was.
But how'd
shocked.
you feel though? I mean, you definitely are showing a lot of vulnerability when you're getting close-ups of you in nothing but, you know, Calvin Klein underwear, and you're just kind of swinging out there with your portobello, as you call it. I mean, did it take a while to ease into that session, or you just said, screw it, go, take it?
Nah, you just throw yourself into it, man. You don't think about it. You can't think about it. It's like diving in the deep water.
Now, we know you work out, but did you work out like extra hard before you did this?
No, so I was already training because I just came from Budapest. I was in Hungary right before that shooting the space movie. And
Wait.
I was doing
Space movie?
Wait, stop it.
In Hungary.
There's a space movie in Hungary?
Sounds like an
How did
acid
this-
trip.
How did this get past us? Hello?
Yeah,
Damn
it's
it.
yeah, I got this movie called Distant that I shot. I'm like the space miner who like takes the strip, he leaves Earth. This tragedy happened to him on Earth. He feels like he doesn't want to be on Earth anymore. He's like, you know what, I'm gonna work for this company and I'll be a miner on this planet called Kepler, and you know, to see if, you know, we can find life there. We can and see if like if we can build life on this other planet. Next thing you know, there's a big ass asteroid hits the ship, shatters, boom, and all the pods.
Anthony, wait, hold on. What else are you not coming clean with here? I mean,
No.
is there
You said
something else you've been
confess.
working? What?
You said you was like confess.
It sounds like you've been doing 500,000
Right.
things in the past 3 months. Good God, man. We have a whole list of things. We have, of course, we have Say Less, which we're about to play from the new album, which isn't out yet, which was recorded at the same time he was doing In Treatment with Uzo Aduba. Then he flew to Hungary and did a movie about being in outer space, and then flew home. What? I'm getting I'm messing it all up. And then he gets home and he does a Calvin Klein commercial with his mushroom hanging out. So what else? I don't know. Is that it?
Gosh, I'm like,
Ne-
Lord.
Never a dull moment. I think the most fun interview we've done in quite a long
Yes.
time.
I would agree with that.
Yo, we gotta laugh, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta laugh it off.
Anthony,
Ridiculous.
right now we're looking at June 11th for In the Heights release, and I will try to find a way, if I can. I'm going to pull some strings and try to find a way for us to do an N theater showing of that film, because I think you're right. We want to see it that way before we see it on HBO
Yeah.
Max. All right.
Come on, Elvis. Come on, brother. Let me know. I'm here. I'll pull up.
You know,
Yes.
sounds like you have experience. Anthony, you know we love you, and we're here to support you every mile of the way. So whatever you need from us, we're always here, okay?
Love you guys, man. I really appreciate y'all always, man. Thank y'all for everything all the time.
All right.
man.
Let me
See you.
play this for you. This is Anthony Ramos and Say Less.
The Mercedes AMG Interview Lounge.